Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining me tonight, as always, for this first minute or so as we get things going. Why don't you type in the chat where you are coming from tonight? Because I would love to know that. I'd love to hear that. And I would love to, I'd love to know where you're indeed coming from on this fine Wednesday evening. That's the way I stall for a little bit to make sure that everything looks and sounds good. I can see myself, I can hear myself, so I think we are good to go. All right. Hey, everyone. I am Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks take all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks Commentary, my weekly Wednesday night live stream for Wednesday night, July the 13th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. I don't know if you guys notice, I'm on this road to 10 Clay, and this channel is growing. It's growing slowly, but it's growing. About 20 to 30, no, maybe 15 to 20 subscribers between each live stream, which is actually good, which is actually better than usual for sure. So I'm just checking at something. Okay, I'm just looking at something real quick. So yeah, I'm very grateful that we're almost at 9150. My goal is to get to 9150 by the end of this month, but we may get to it by the middle of this month. So I am grateful that you Sherwood Park, by the way, Canuck Carl, that's pretty cool. I'm grateful that all of you guys are here. You might remember on Sunday night, I wasn't sure if I was going to do the stream. On Sunday night, you might remember my voice was kind of going a little bit. I was a little worried. I wasn't worried I had COVID, but I was worried that I was getting sick. And then I mentioned that I'm emceeing a wedding reception tomorrow night, which is still indeed the case. And on Sunday night, I said, I don't know if I'm going to live stream on Wednesday night. I think I groaned like that. I said, I don't know if I'm going to live stream Wednesday night because my voice is going and I have to rest it for the wedding I'm emceeing. And I may end up spending that night spending Wednesday night preparing. Well, good news. I was able to prepare, finish everything by 6 o'clock tonight. And my voice is fine. I'm looking good. I'm sounding good. So I have time to come in and stream because it's a big day for the Vancouver Canucks, which I'll get to in a second. So you'll see, I gave myself 15 minutes for the intro here because I want to talk about a couple other things too. Moderators, thank you. Thanks in advance. You guys know if something is sexist, racist, homophobic, ableist, racist, did I say that already? In another language, spam, go ahead and delete it. Thank you, Coach Rob. Go ahead and time that person out. But don't always feel like you have to ban that person because sometimes everyone has a bad day. So yeah, thank you, moderators, in advance. We'll see how busy you are. We'll see if the bots end up finding their way to the stream per usual. So thank you, moderators, in advance. Thank you to my sponsors, Perform and Transform, Personal Training and Weight Loss. Thank you to Jason Lim and his team at Van City Experts Real Estate Group. Both of them are on the screen right below my face there. And then, of course, to Gassy Jack Art, maker of this fine artwork. To Monkey Nine Brewing, my eternal sponsor. And my newest sponsor, or I wouldn't say they're a sponsor, but they're certainly a brand collaborator. And that is indeed Vessi Shoes. And you guys know that if you use the code Canuck Clay, and you buy a pair or more of Vessi shoes, you get $15 off every single pair that you buy. So very grateful for that brand collaboration opportunity. And you can see it right on the screen right there. It says, I have the code right there. So thank you to all of you. Legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, and legendary Andrew Chang, thank you for being legends as always. Thank you to all of my Hall of Fame members and all of my franchise members. I'm going to do my best to keep you engaged past July. And yes, we are up to 71 members on this channel now. I get a lot of those have been gifted, but that's awesome. I think it's a win-win. It helps me obviously, and it gives some of you a free month of Canuck Clay CCC membership. So don't worry. I mean, don't forget that if anyone wants to gift membership to others, all you have to do is go to the $ underneath the chat, go to membership gifting, and then you can choose your level of gifting right there. And we've done pretty good. I think we've given out 40 memberships in the past week or so. We did 25, no, more. We've done almost 20, 45 or 50. Because I think we did 25, no, we did 35, 32. 32 on the first day, and another 15 when on the night that the Canucks drafted 15. By the way, if you're asking questions already, that's awesome. Thank you. But I'm not going to get to them because I realize how I fall behind so quickly is when it comes time for the questions, instead of answering the questions that come in from that point on, I then back up and I start to answer questions that were asked before the question time. So you're welcome to put everything in the chat. I appreciate everyone saying hello, but honestly, I'm not smart enough to read it and talk at the same time. So I will start looking at the chat in about 10 minutes or so. Okay. So having said that, you guys can talk and type and talk to each other, chat with each other, type messages. That's awesome. But I will not be reading the chat until I finish my intro. Otherwise, we'll never get out of here. Or maybe that's a good thing because I'm not working tomorrow. I'm going to that wedding. And finally, no matter where you're watching from, if you're in my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston and Richmond, in the city, Lower Mainland, province, country, continent, or around the world, like someone like Tiger Burns is, thank you for being here. Thank you for your support as always. I know that you could be watching, doing anything else. Instead, you're here with me, and I simply never, ever take you for granted as we continue to build the most positive, most creative channel here on YouTube. Canucks channel. It's not the most positive, creative channel ever on YouTube, but I think in terms of Canucks fandom, I think this community is the best one by far. So my one appeal to you, to like this video. Anytime we get more likes, it helps the algorithm. It helps promote, recommend my videos, whatever. If you like the fact that we're together, if you like what the Canucks did today, if you like the CCC, if you like yourself, whatever reason, if you want to press the thumbs up underneath the video, I certainly would not complain. Okay, I'm going to talk for the next 7 or 8 minutes, and then I'll turn it over to you. Really quickly, before I get into the Canucks stuff, I filed my reimbursement claim with Air Canada. I'm not going to go over the full story. You guys know, a bunch of bowling balls late to Sweden for Jacob and his teammate Adam. We had to buy new bowling balls, new bowling ball bags. So I submitted a $2,600 reimbursement request to Air Canada. We'll see how that goes. And one other thing, I mentioned someone here's from Sherwood Park. That's in Alberta. I am going to Alberta at the end of this month for 5 days. Many of you heard that Pope Francis is coming to Canada, so I'm being seconded. I've been sent to Edmonton to help with the papal visit. So that's kind of exciting for me. I'll be in Edmonton from July 22nd to July 27th. So I may have to skip a stream or two that week, but we'll see what happens. Okay, now the Vancouver Canucks signed, by my count, 7 players today. Andrei Kuzmenko, the highly touted, Russian player. We knew that was going to happen. Thank you, Sidhu Muswala, the legend, for the $1 donation. I appreciate you. All right. So, started off, Andrei Kuzmenko, that was a mere formality, and he gets a 1-year contract. Then the 2 big ones. Curtis Lazar, 3-year contract, 8-year veteran, salmon arm boy. Drafted in 2013, a few picks, about 10 picks after Bo Horvat. And yes, 8-year career. 2.5 years with Ottawa, 2.5 years with Calgary, 1.5 years with Buffalo, 1.5 years with Boston. Now coming here, 27 years old, right shot center, can kill penalties, sandpaper, can hit guys, not afraid to stand up for his teammates. He listed like Matt Cook and Raffi Torres as his idols growing up. So another donation from Sidhu. Thank you, Sidhu, for that donation once again. So that was a good start and a great contract. 3 years at $1 million per season. Then the Canucks made their biggest probably acquisition of the day in signing Ilya Mikheyev, another Russian player, 3 years with Toronto Maple Leafs. Not all, well, they weren't complete years because 2 of them were COVID years. And last year had 21 goals, 32 points in 53 games. Now, it was a very high shooting percentage, 14%. That's going to come down. But in Ilya Mikheyev, you have a middle 6 guy. He's not a top line guy, but he can play on the second line in the top 6. He can play on the third line. No problem. Enjoy the movie, Sidhu. Yeah, get off your phone. You're not supposed to be on your phone in the theater. So thank you, Sidhu. Appreciate that. Mikheyev, fast. One of the fastest skaters in the league. Also not known for his hands, though. So I'm surprised he had 21 goals last season. And some people have actually compared him to Jannik Hansen. Good defensively, very tenacious, wins a lot of battles. I think he's faster than Hansen. But remember, Hansen would get a lot of breakaways sometimes and then wouldn't really be able to finish them. So Mikheyev, 4 years, $4.75 million. So the biggest contract the Canucks handed out today. That's $19 million over the 4 years. But I think this player can be an X factor for the Canucks. I really do. I think he can kill penalties. So both Lazar and Mikheyev can kill penalties, which is the Canucks' biggest weakness last season. So they can kill penalties. He's fast. He can get in the open, whether or not he actually finishes once he gets in the open. He's not going to do the best playmaking. He's not the best passer, but he can certainly find the open space. So I'm excited. He wanted a fresh start. He actually asked for a trade out of Toronto earlier in the season. So I think this could be a really good signing. I know some people are concerned that's a little bit too much money. I'll get to the money in a second. So Ilya Mikheyev, another interesting, intriguing signing by the Vancouver Canucks. Then there are a couple smaller ones. Dakota Joshua, big center, big body, and he got signed. And I think the way Patrick Allvin is talking is they expect him to actually make the team as a fourth liner and not just be depth in Abbotsford. He spent 3 seasons, parts of 3 seasons in the AHL, and he's Patrick Allvin says Dakota is a big body, has a heavy game, plays hard, and is a good skater. And I think they really expect him to make it either on the bottom, on the fourth line, or at least challenge for that. A couple other smaller signings. One of them is goalie Colin Delia. 1 year, he will battle Silovs and DiPietro in Abbotsford. And then defenseman Wyatt Kalanick. And Wyatt Kalanick is, how old is he here? I just had it right here. He's 25 years old, 1 year, 2-way contract. So he makes less if he's in the minors. And he spent most of last season with the Chicago Blackhawks AHL affiliate. So, and then Delia, the goalie, is signed for 1 year at $750. And then near the end of the night, after all this was announced, then they also announced they signed Phil DiGiuseppe to another contract. So Nick Patan left, Sheldon Rempel is gone. So you had some of those kind of guys leave, but Phil DiGiuseppe will battle also for a spot. So what does it all mean? Well, it means that right now the Canucks added, I tweeted out, and the Canucks basically added Lazar, Mikheyev, Kuzmenko, those 3 players up front, and then Dakota as well, Dakota Joshua. And really they're saying bye to Lamico, Highmore, likely Richardson, Chason, and Sutter. So obviously that's an upgrade up front. And then no matter who you pair with who, you could have a top 12 of the Lotto line of Horvat, Garland, Kuzmenko, Podkolzin, Mikheyev, Pearson, Lazar, Dickinson, and Hoglander. And then guys like Lockwood and Dakota Joshua and Phil DiGiuseppe could be battling for 13, 14 spots. That's pretty good. Now on D, you still have Oyel, Myers, Hugh Shen, Dermott, Rathbone, Burrows, and Pullman. So the Canucks don't have a lot of money now. They don't have any money to sign someone new on D. So any improvement to their defense will have to be via trade. And that's the way that they're going to have to go. Darren Dreger reported it. I think Patrick Allvin and Jim Rutherford have even said as much. Finally, last thing, and then I will turn it over to you. Where are the Canucks on the salary cap? Well, technically, they are $2.7 million over the cap, but then you factor in Michael Furlan's 3.5 LTIR. The Canucks are $800,000 underneath the cap. That's not even enough to sign a good player. So, and then you got to leave some wiggle room for the season. So obviously they're going to have to make a couple of moves. Hopefully, yeah, it might mean moving out a Dickinson, Pearson, or Garland, even though I don't want them to, but they may have to. They're going to have to get creative, but they still have the whole offseason to do that. Remember, JT Miller is still signed for $5.25 for this season. So the Canucks have until opening night to get underneath the cap. So let's not worry. Let's not freak out if the Canucks are over the cap, because obviously they can make a lot of moves to get underneath the cap before the season starts. Okay, timed it perfectly. 15 minutes in. Now I will turn it over to you, and I will go questions only for now, just so I can stay on top of everything. And I'm glad that all of you are here. Fangirl, with all the signings, who leaves the team to make room cap space wise? I think it's going to be one of Pullman, Dickinson, Garland, or Pearson. Hey, Adam. Do you think we're going to trade Pearson? I think he's one of the players we could trade. Peter, if Miller does get extended, how would you honestly feel about it considering he's 29? Depends on the contract. If they can find, if it's a reasonable contract, I don't know what's reasonable. I would still find a way to keep him, but I still think that ultimately he will get moved. King RJ, am I excited for the Rathbone and Dermott line? I do like both players, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that. NHL Canucks, do you know anything about the Rogers Arena seats and Renaults? I think you know some people. I do know a lot of people that work for the club, but I don't know anything specific about the seats. I do know they're doing a bunch of Renaults, including dressing rooms and stuff. They announced that kind of publicly a little while ago. Bruce, I still think Miller will get traded, but it might not be right now. It might not be right now. And the way I've heard Rutherford speak, and the way Parker and I were talking about Canucks After Dark, he said it could even be the month before the trade deadline, and then it'll get interesting. So I think we should be patient, and I think they're willing to start the season with them. Matt Go, Setter's done 100% right. It's not for sure, but I haven't heard any talk about him getting extended. And with Curtis Lazar, right-hand center, who's healthier, younger, and more effective, I think the writing is on the wall. Lucas Clay, do you think Setter will announce his retirement soon? I don't know. He might want to try and get another shot. I don't know how realistic that is. Quacky, what do you think about the Goudreau signing by CBJ? Huge, massive. Yeah, they land the biggest fish in today's free agent pond. Dustin, what's the situation with Brandon Sutter? We have not heard a lot, but he had a 1-year contract that ran out. A lot of questions about Sutter, for sure. DiPietro gone? They must be peddling him now with Delia on the farm. Well, Tiger, I think it's going to be a 3-horse race down there between Delia, DiPietro, and Seelovs. Did you see the rumbles on Klingberg coming to Van? Thoughts? Yeah, no, I haven't seen any rumblings, and I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think we have enough money to make it happen unless we move someone out, obviously. No, I did not know that one, actually. I did not know that one. Jack, with the Flames and Vegas losing big players, who would win the Pacific? Us, Oilers, or Kings? I think Oilers. I think the Oilers. Dogwood, who plays best with Bo Horvat? I have, Fangirl, I have a membership idea of a perk of an exclusive Discord just for members. You guys can run it, but I won't be in there. I have no desire to be in Discord. Fangirl, that's a great idea. I know other people do it, but I don't want anything to do with it because I don't want to add one more thing. Obviously, I don't know how Discord works. Maybe you guys can just all hang out there and I don't have to be there. Dogwood, who plays best with Horvat? Yeah, Pearson does. I think, I'd like to see Garland get more time with him as well. But it was so weird because Miller played in the center, so you have to really spread out the wingers. Now, if Dickinson plays better and you have Lazar, maybe those are your four centers. But we have enough quality wingers where you could still run Miller, Horvat, Pettersson, and then now surround them with better wingers as well. So who plays best with them? Pearson is the first one that comes to your mind. Was I shocked that Halak got a contract with the Rangers? No, Fangirl, I wasn't. Adam, thank you for the $10 donation. Appreciate you as always. Lucas, thank you for the $5 donation. Yeah, Lucas, you go ahead. If you want to run a Discord, that's fine. Let me think about this though. Like, is it weird if you use, I don't know what you're going to call it, but is it weird if you use my name when I'm not even in there? I don't know. I'll leave that up to you. I trust you guys, but yeah, I can't even say run it by me before you start it. Anyone can make whatever, but does it make sense? I'm not sure how you're going to name it, but I'll let you guys worry about that for sure. Edmund says Garland could be gone. CV, which defenseman do you think the Canucks are going to sign if they traded one of their players to cut cap space? I still think they got to go after a right shot guy, and I keep talking about John Marino from the Rangers. Adam, a realistic return for Dickinson would probably be like a mid-draft pick, mid to late. For Garland, I think you could go player for player or maybe a prospect, but I still don't think the return for Garland's going to be huge just yet, although I really like him. Simon, I like watching teams like Tampa, Colorado, Carolina up teams with pace. What kind of shoes do Frogs like? I don't know. I'm sure it's coming. DSS, do you think Spencer Martin is no longer the backup? No, he is the backup. He will be the backup to Thatcher Demko. Yeah, I was surprised, Lucas, when we learned that Goudreau was going to Columbus for sure, because I'd heard Islanders, Devils, and Flyers. Justin, what are your thoughts on Pacific Division after today's moves? Flames losing Goudreau and Vegas losing Pacioretty could open up the division. Yeah, I think the Oilers still remain strong, especially signing Kane, and Jack Campbell's going there too, right? So their goaltending is going to be better. What is your defense lines next year? As it stands, it's Oyel, Myers, Hughes, Shen, Rathbone, Dermott. What would be your ideal returns? Christian, depends what you're talking about. Peter, comedian Spencer Martin is backup to Demko, be a low risk type of move. Yeah, but it's low risk, but I'm not worried. I think Martin showed really well last year. Garley gone. I think he's one of the players that could be gone, but I wouldn't say it's him for sure. Can be really interesting to watch. Clay, could you see Adam Gaudette ended Sutter's career? I wouldn't. That's tough to say. I wouldn't pin that on Adam. Canadian teams today, Edmonton and Ottawa, I think, did really well. Oh, I like it. Lucas, good job. Lucas works fast, so thank you for the donation. GLCPC membership Discord. I like that because it's kind of like an inside joke on or inside what GLCPC is. It doesn't say Canuck Clay or Clay Emo on there, which I think is the wise move. Great job, Lucas. That's great. I know you guys will represent us well. Do you think we can be better than the Flames now? I do, Sharms. Jarhead, I'm starting to think Miller won't get traded. Instead, try to move up Pearson and Garland. I could see that happening. For sure. Christian, can you break down what your ideal returns would be from New Jersey, Islanders, Rangers, and Pitt? That's a lot, Christian, especially when I'm already 7 minutes behind. But I think with anyone, I don't want to go through all four teams. I think with anyone for a trade for Miller, you're looking at least, hopefully, 3 assets. You want to get at least what Minnesota got for Fiala, and that was a prospect and a draft pick. So I would want 3 assets for Miller. Burns to Carolina. Yeah, Carolina came out ahead today as well. And San Jose obviously trying to fix their cap mess. Dave W., how close do you think the Canucks will get to a playoff spot in 2023 given their roster? I think if they make an upgrade or 2 on D, they'll have a chance to contend. I really do, because I think their forwards are stacked. And they got Demko. I think as it is right now, they could fight for a playoff position if they don't tweak anything, if the defense overachieves. Yes, Jasker, I could see us finishing top 3 with Edmonton and LA. I could. Peter Hughes, I think Columbus, is Goudreau's family from the eastern states? Because I don't know why. Yeah, because Calgary offered him a lot more money. And I kind of wonder if maybe there's a rift in the dressing room as well. That's just my own speculation. Myers, Adam, is going to be more valuable at the end of at the end of the season, because then he'll only have 1 year left on his deal as opposed to 2. I don't think much about Colin Delia, honestly, aside from, I think he's going to battle for the Abbotsford spot. And I always said that they'd bring in a veteran goalie, a third goalie a veteran goalie to battle with DiPietro and Silas. By the way, there's 170 of you in here. That is awesome. I lied. If half of you want to give this video a like, the fact that we're together, that's cool. And I may end up going past 11 today, so don't call me out if I'm late to ask me anything, because some really good questions here. Yeah, so a lot of questions about what do I think the Canucks' chances are, so I won't keep repeating that answer. But yeah, I think Edmonton is going to be strong again. I think LA is going to be strong, and I think Vegas and Calgary may take a dip. JT Miller to Columbus. I don't know if they still want to do that. Their defense is really good. Do they have any more money though? I don't know. Lee, Pacioretty, Vegas. We've talked about it here before. Vegas does not treat their players that well, and they gave up so much to get him too, including Suzuki. RP88. I'm most excited for Mikheyev, and I'm intrigued by Kuzmenko for sure. Justin, are you shocked by some of the money being thrown around during free agency? Goudreau, Thomas, Sergachev? No, I'm never shocked at what gets spent on day one. I think there'll always be a market correction, but that's why it's always challenging to spend money on day one to sign players, but then you don't want to be left out in the cold as well. Does it set the market in a negative way? No, I think that market was already set, quite frankly, Justin. Garland for an equal right D player. Joe, in theory, that sounds great, but I think right shot D are more valuable than what Garland can bring, so I think you have to sweeten the deal. I don't think it's going to be 1-for-1. No, I don't think they moved DiPietro. They could, but they did send him a qualifying offer. I haven't heard that the Canucks are getting new seats, but maybe someone else knows that for sure. Adam, what do you know about Dakota Joshua? I found very little about it. Just what I said off the top. Big center, and I think he's going to be given a shot to make the team for sure. Adam, second Pettersson only played 1 day at development camp. I heard he showed very well though, but unfortunately he tweaked his knee. Oh, open-toed shoes. Sorry, I missed that. Very good. Matt Murray, I'm not a big fan of, David. Samsonov, I'm a better fan of him. But yeah, they don't compare to Demko, that's for sure. Do you think Myers or Oyel gets traded? Fangirl, my guess is no. My guess is no. Will Goudreau be booed? Yeah, they'll do that video tribute, but I could see him getting booed because he basically said no thanks to Calgary and all their money. Hey Shannon, welcome back. Can we win the division? I don't know if we'll win it, but I think we can compete for top 3 for sure. Peter, is it fair to say Canucks won't have another goalie tandem issue in the long run with Demko, Martin, possibly Seelovs? Well, Demko signed for another 4 years, so I don't think we have to worry about it. I don't think there's going to be, as long as he's here, he'll be the number 1. And who knows, he might even extend past that. So I don't think goaltending is going to be an issue here at all. Thank you once again, Lucas, for setting up that Discord. Yeah, William, I think it's going to go Edmonton, LA, Vancouver, Calgary, Vegas. Taylor, need to change defense, but we have this year to see. Oh, yes, good point. Do I see Ottawa as a contender now? They're getting closer. They got Giroux and DeBrincat. That's a pretty good upgrade. Peter, I do think that as more teams sign guys in free agency, that it's going to lessen the available suitors for JT Miller, and that was the risk of waiting past today. Yeah, Jess Grant, I don't disagree with the hockey guy. He's very bright, and I don't think it's a bad thing if Miller ends up staying this year, but it's going to be very tricky to see what happens in terms of when do you move him. Yeah, Edmund, Vegas does not manage their team well. I don't think they're going to reach the same heights that they did in their first season. Pullman and a fourth to Arizona for Krause, Dickinson, Pearson, and a pick for Konechny, Garland for Marino. I think Garland, you got to do more to get Marino. Dickinson, Pearson, and a pick for Konechny. I like all the players you mentioned, for sure. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to stay up to date. I'm still 7 minutes behind, so I'm just going through reading questions. Front office today, based on their moves, I'll give them a B+. I'm not going to go A, but I'll give them a B+. William, I still think there's a couple trades in the Canucks for sure. This is just day one. Yes, Jacob, I do think they'll trade for a defenseman. No, I think it's going to slow down tomorrow for sure, William. Yeah, great point, Steve. The longer we wait to trade Miller, the less we'll get in return. Which jersey number would you see Lazar and Mikheyev wear next year? That's a good question. Mikheyev wore 65, right? So he could do that. Lazar, what did Lazar wear? Like 20 or something? What did Lazar wear? Someone tell me. NHL app Vancouver roster shows Spencer Martin is not there. Well, he should be. That's weird. Thanks again, Lucas, for setting up that Discord. I may have to pop in there, but I'm afraid to. I think Columbus is trying to re-sign Line. William, I mentioned the cap space. The Canucks have, including Ferlin's LTIR, the Canucks have like 800 grand left. So not a lot. If nothing changes with the Pacific Division, Edmonton, Kings, Vancouver. Hoglander for John Marino. That definitely won't be enough. Mikheyev's contract, beast mode I mentioned at the top. It's okay. It's okay. If he pans out, I think it's a good value. Otherwise, I think it's okay. Yeah, 4x4. That's a lot for Gudbranson. I was a little bit surprised at that. Day 2 will be slower. For sure. Well, a lot of questions. This is good. It's exciting. It's almost 200 people in here. That's crazy. So yeah, it's based on the moves today. Which teams do you think are better shaped to be contenders now? Well, Columbus. I think also that Carolina did well. Who else did I think well? I made a list. I think Tampa did well by signing a lot of their RFAs. Ottawa not going to be a contender yet, but I do like what they're doing with their team for sure. Peter, who gets traded first? I'll say Pearson if I had to say someone. Dogwood says put him in. Ricky, hello brother. Present good evening. Didn't expect the Canucks to be as active. If you rank Canadian teams, where do you rank Vancouver? Still behind Toronto, Edmonton. Now ahead of close. Now ahead of Calgary. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I keep saying Vancouver's going to finish ahead of Calgary, so I better stick to my guns. I'll say Edmonton and Toronto, or Toronto and Edmonton, whatever order. Then Vancouver, Calgary, Winnipeg, Ottawa, Montreal. No problem, Carl. Yeah, no, we do got to trade our. We got to change the makeup of our D for sure. Erwin, I just love how Alvin was quite open, but nothing shocking out of there. Rest up, Adam. Yeah, Simon, there's the list of players that did not get signed is too long for me to go through here. I just kind of watch and see what happens. Matt Matt, Lazar and Mikheyev can both. They're not going to beat anyone up. Mikheyev isn't, but he's a big body that's not afraid to muck it up in the corners. Lazar is good. I think they definitely got more sandpaper today. Yeah, Petter Hughes, that Thomas deal is big. But I think Miller already knows his values around 8.5. Which contract ages better? I still think Goudreau's will. Yeah, Registrar, I simply do not know enough about draft picks, so my answer would suck. Thanks, Adam. I love that you love the stream. Yeah, I think Zach McEwen had his time here. RP, I give the Canucks a B+, as I mentioned. Jay Fresh says Canucks tied for second. Well, that's cool. Probably behind Edmonton, right? I don't think Seattle's top 3. They look better, but they were really bad last year. Yeah, no, thank you, Peter. Yeah, I was messaging with John, and I said how much I appreciate that you're always here, and you always have constructive things to say, and you're like one of my most loyal viewers, so thank you. Edmund gives a B. Cool. What does the Canucks see in Mikheyev? Penalty killer, speed. They want to get faster. Makes them harder to play against. Peter, I love the forwards as they're currently constructed. Is the DM worried about? I don't think anyone is booing Bruce, Shannon. I don't think so. What was your favorite move today around the NHL? That's a good question. The Giroux one was surprising for sure. The Goudreau one was surprising. And because I like Tampa, I do like the way that they were able to sign Sergachev, Chernak, and Cirelli. I thought that was pretty good. Edmund says we didn't have to go hunt today. Yes, Chumbles. Alvin is not done for sure. Yeah, William, it's funny. We think that there's all this activity around JT Miller, but Rutherford and Alvin have said no, there hasn't been. Yes, RP, I think the Black Skate will be the third, given that they gave it a run at the end of last season. Lazar were 27. Thank you for that. 20. Well, no more Hamannik, right? So he can wear that one. How come the Vancouver Canucks signed so many goalies? They actually used to have more. They want Rutherford. Alvin said he only wants 3 in Abbotsford, not 5. Yes, Lieb, I know about you, Levy. Yes, Mikheyev better not be paid like Tavares Marner or Tavares Matthews or Marner. Well, over 200 people in here. You guys are awesome. Coach Rob says hit the like button. Coach Rob's pretty smart. Okay, guys, I'm reading everything. I'm just not responding to everything. I'm going questions. Which free agent signing you think was the best and worst overall today? Yeah, I actually, Edmund, yours are pretty good. I think Giroux was a good one for sure. Yeah, I think Sergachev is quite good. But yes, you do have to overpay. It keeps your guys sometimes. I think Hughes will have a really good season. I think PD will have an outstanding season. I think he's ready to go off, especially if he got more talented players around him. Aunt Becky, Edmonton, Kings, Canucks. Clay for Prime Minister. Clay, would you say Pacific Division got weaker overall? I think there's a slight change in power. I will put it that way. Garland for Ethan Bear. You know, I like Bear, but I just finished saying that usually defensemen are harder to get, but I don't know. I want a bit more, to be honest. And Zest for you, I think it would take Garland plus to get John Marino. Yeah, Carl, yeah, I've had this camera for half a year now. Yeah, it's a Sony ZV-10 or whatever it's called. But yes, I think they do have to change up their D for sure. No, William, proud to have you. Young Dakota Dickinson's got 2 more years. They're hoping that he bounces back. Dogwood says trade for Simmons. If it were me, I'd go Lotto line. I'd go Horvat, Garland, Kuzmenko. I'd go Podkolzin, Dickinson, Mikheyev, and I'd go Lazar, Pearson, Hoglander. That's what I would do. Oh, I thought I caught up. I got too excited for a sec. DSS, no, they're you always have to have a lot of goaltenders. They're not all going to stick. I don't even know what a buck moon is. It doesn't sound good though. No, Erwin, I don't think the Lotto line is a lock, but I wish it was. Where do I think Ottawa finishes? Basement, wild card, or higher playoff spot? No, I think the most they'll do is a wild card. They won't finish in the basement, but I don't think they're going to push for top 3. So let's go wild card. Jaskirin, Alvin said there could be a trade, not there will be a trade. Simon, I watch both Sportsnet and TSN. I'm more used to the TSN broadcasters, admittedly. Yeah, as soon as I started bragging about 200 people, it dropped to like 180, but that's fine. Hey, Carol, nice to see you. Yeah, I mentioned right off the top that I really like our 2 new players. I think they're going to add a lot of grit, sandpaper, speed, especially with Mikheyev. And in defense, I don't know what they're going to do. I always say they should go after John Marino out of Pittsburgh. Hey, Jay, nice to see you. Young Dakota, I just mentioned the lines, but I know you asked that before I mentioned it. That's a good point, Peter Hughes, that if Sergachev is making more than Hedman, that is kind of weird, actually. Peter, I like Miller as a winger because then it evens our lines out. But then with him as a center, Miller, PD, Horvat down the middle, that's pretty strong. Then you can have Lazar as your 4th and move Dickinson to the wing. Yeah, NHL cap's going to go up a little bit, but not that much, J-Zone. Zest, I simply think that there's been a lot of hype around JT Miller about trade partners, but maybe none of it was actually true. NHL Canucks, once Clay hits 10K, is doing a 10 live 24-10. Well, I don't even know what that means, but it sounds dangerous. Murray, I'm not sure who you're asking about, who could be resigned to other teams. Yeah, Lucas, do whatever you need to do for the Discord. William, is there a list where you could... No, you just got to look up kind of on websites. What could you get for Tanner Pearson? I would take a 3rd rounder and run. 2nd rounder, hopefully. Yeah, I saw Jagger's tweet. That was funny. No, Carl, I've had this camera for half a year, not a year and a half. I've had it for half a year. But I'm glad you noticed it. Yeah, Peter, it's tough to say. Every market overvalues their players, although Miller had an outstanding season, one of the top 12 scorers in the league over the past 3 years. I think Chicago is going to be in line for Bedard. Arizona always stinks. So at least those 2 teams. Detroit actually made some good signings, so I don't think they're going to be based. So I think Chicago and who did I say? And Arizona for sure. I think Lockwood's route to make the team just got a little bit tougher for sure. Pat, I like my thumbnails. They take me like 10 seconds, or maybe that's obvious why it does. No, I do not want Subban on the Canucks. Stetcher chose Arizona, maybe because he likes warmth and opportunity as opposed to winning. No, McDeasy, I don't think that's why. I think maybe there's been a lot of smoke around how much interest there is in Miller. Oh, Subban signed with Buffalo? I did not know that. Tanner Pearson trade, I would be happy if we got a third rounder. Do you think Miller will have a 90-point season again? 90 plus? I think so. He's got better players around him now. Yes, William, I am very excited to see this team this season. Why should we trade JT Miller if he's good? It doesn't have anything to do with this season coming up. We know he's good, and we know he's a value at 5.25. It's if we don't think we can afford him next year after that, then we got to get assets for him now. I have no clue where Eriksson is going to be, Justin. Good job, Justin. What I mean was if players have been signed, can they be signed to other teams? Murray, I'm really sorry. I still don't understand what you're asking. If players have been signed, can they be signed to other? Yeah, I just don't know what you mean, Murray. Oh, Malcolm Subban signing with Buffalo. Okay, good to know. When does Jet Wu play for the Canucks? I still think he's like 2 or 3 years away. Maybe he doesn't even play for them. When is opening night? Yeah. The schedule's been released. The Canucks open at home against Buffalo on October 22nd, but they have 5 games on the road before that. That's funny, Jaskrin. Prospects in AHL cannot even contend for a spot in the NHL roster. Why didn't the organization refresh the management team there? Not sure what you're talking about, IT. If you're talking about a particular team or website. Clay sponsored by Adult Bots. Yeah. Said no one ever. Justin, if you're the Flames and saw what happened to Ginla and Goudreau, would you be afraid that Kachuk will sign a 1-year RFA? Yeah, unless they're planning to build their team around him and they convince him that he is their team. Yeah, that's true. But this Canucks forward core is even better, Peter. When's the first game? It's October something. I can't remember. Thoughts on McKay? I've already talked about him all month. I'm excited to see what he can do. Is Ottawa the best Canadian team? No way. They're getting better. I still say it's Edmonton or Toronto. King RJ is worried about the return for Miller. DSS, I will start it when I want to start it, but thank you for asking. Sapro, can you simply explain LTI or Ferland and how to fix their cap? Yeah, a very simple explanation. Michael Ferland makes $3.5 million. He's essentially retired. He's not going to play again for the Canucks. But you simply don't get his $3.5 million and add it to the cap of 81.5. So if the salary cap is 81.5, let me just check to make sure that's what it is. Yeah, sorry. If the salary cap is 82,500,000, you simply don't add Ferland's 3.5 and say, oh, we have $86 million now. You can only do that if you're right at the cap, because you can't use his cap hit to get to the maximum. Meaning is basically you can only take advantage of the full 3.5 if you're completely maxed out. So if your contracts only add up to 82 million instead of 82.5, then technically you can use 3 million of Ferland's 3.5. So I hope that makes sense. Basically, the closer you are to the salary cap, the more of players' long-term injury reserve salary you can use. So that's why the Canucks basically are at, without Ferland's cap hit, they are over. They're at 85.2. But then with Ferland's cap hit, because they're over, you get to use all 3.5. So instead of 85.2, you're 2.7 over. Now your cap is 86 million, and now you still have 800 grand. So I hope that made sense. Okay, I'm going to answer the rest of the questions quickly, and then I'll move to Ask Me Anything. But I will answer the questions that were here right now. So, Sapporo, I hope that helped. Pat, what's your thoughts on the NBA contract structure and how players can leave anytime they want? Yeah, it's really funny. I was talking to some coworkers about that. I don't know it. I just know the NBA players make a lot more money. There's a luxury tax and all that kind of stuff. But it's just interesting how NBA players can basically force their way to a team. Oh, Murray, these new signed players. If you're asking about these newly signed players, yeah, they can be traded now for sure. Yep, they're and you might see some guys get moved. Any signing surprise you? I was surprised Giroux went to Ottawa for sure. Peter, if the Canucks win the Cup, who's most likely to win Vezina? If the Canucks win the Cup, who's most likely to win Vezina? Who would you? And would you run the neighborhood shirtless? Of course, I'd run the neighborhood naked, and it would be Demko if you're asking about who from the Canucks, of course. Tanner, what do we do with Burrows? No, he could be a depth D for sure. I think he might still say. Yes, Carl, I did see that video. I'm not sure how long McDavid's shift was, but that was really good. Thank you, Lucas. Sent your living meme chat in. What does that mean? But thank you. Thank you for the donation, Lucas. No, I don't think McDavid or Matthews would ever request a trade. Should we bring King Louis back? What do you think, Charms? When is the Canucks going to update the roster? I don't know. Maybe tomorrow, DSS. No, I don't think you trade Miller in the division, GR. Justin Edmonton is so worried about what they decided to bring Toronto to Edmonton. Very good. Barry CC Hyman. Oh, Conn Smythe? Oh, tough to say. It's either going to be, it's probably going to be PD. If the Canucks win a cup this year, it'll be PD or Miller if they won. Whereabouts are you staying? I don't know, Brian. I'm going to find out for sure. I'll find out. And Lucas, there will be a whole section for memes in the Discord. Why not? Oh, okay. I understand what you're saying. Okay, I've caught up. I probably skipped a bunch. I'm sorry. And then let's move into Ask Me Anything, and we'll start right now. Hi T, does Vessi ship internationally? Are they durable enough for hikes, or are they for city only? That's a good question. I've not taken them out for a hike yet, and I don't know if they ship internationally. I think pump it into the website and see what they say. That's a really good question. I don't know, and I think they are good for hikes for sure. They're supposed to be made for comfort and durability. But I think lighter hikes, like where you're not, I wouldn't wear them on the grouse grind or anything like that. Not that I would ever do the grouse grind again. Almost died. But great question. High T, might be best just to look it up. Sharms, do you think Miller's peak value still exists? I think it's the peak right now. Fangirl, are you looking forward to going to Hawaii? Yes. And what are you going to do when you're there? Nothing. Sit on the beach. I'm going to relax. We'll see. Actually, I'm going to see my mom tomorrow. We're going to start talking about it for sure. Jaskrin, am I going to Alberta? Yes, I mentioned that off the top of the stream. I'll be in Alberta from July 22 to 27. What are your thoughts on the crash on the moon? Brandon, I didn't even know there was a crash on the moon. That's how out of it I am. There's a crash on the moon? Who crashed? And was it like the crash on my live stream? Crash on the moon. That was like 2 weeks ago. A mysterious rocket body that crashed in the moon is baffling NASA. I did not know that. Clay, are you planning to monetize on the meme? No, Lucas, I hadn't thought of that. Zess, what right D do you think the Canucks should acquire to play with Hughes? John Marino. So I will slowly move away from Canucks questions and NHL questions, you guys. I'll do non-stuff now. Have you planned for another 24-hour live stream? Charms, I've started to look at potential dates, but that's it. Where do I do my grocery shopping? Costco or Freshco? What island are you going in Hawaii? Wherever Honolulu is. Is that Maui? That's where I'm going. Honolulu. Oh, I'm going to Oahu. That's where I'm going. I obviously have no clue. Justin, if you're a prospect in Canucks training camp, what would you predict your performance on the grouse grind would be? Oh, I'd probably come in last. Yeah. Or get caught cheating somehow. Yeah, I've only done it once in my life. Justin, it was not fun. How are Jacob and his brother doing? They're great. They're in Montreal right now. They fly home on Friday, and they are doing some work for the biggest bowling distributor in the country, which is pretty cool. Does Vessi have an affiliate marketing program? I wouldn't call it affiliate marketing program. They do look for brand collaborators, but that I haven't actually done a lot of research outside of what the deal that I worked out with them. No, Shannon, just me going to Alberta. I'm going for work. Were you affected by Rogers network outage? No, I'm a Bell guy. Oh, thank you, Carl. Yeah, I bought. We've had our Hawaii tickets for a few months now. Thank you, though. Will you sell the meme as an NFT? I've actually talked about that with my son Sean, who knows more about NFTs than I do. But really, who's gonna buy that thing? Who'd buy that thing? Besides myself, McDeezy, who is your favorite streamer to go to for Nucks info? Do you mean streamer or any? Usually for Nucks info, I don't go to streamers. What I will do is I find that Rick Dollywall is usually no frills. He's very well connected. So I'll start with Rick Dollywall if I had to pick one. I think Thomas Strantz adds some really good commentary as well, but I'll start with Nick Dollywall. Oahu, thank you. If I was a wrestler, would you rather have Paul Heyman as your manager or Mr. McMahon? Oh, Paul Heyman for sure. He's the best talker. Edmund, would you ever eat at Flaming Walk? No. Zest, what is my favorite cuisine? Japanese food. See, it's how long is my trip in Hawaii? 9 days. What's your joke to share? You'll see in 10 minutes. WWE or UFC? WWE. Hello, Fallon. What sport position did you play as a kid? The most competitive was volleyball. I was a setter. I played softball, soccer, hockey, football. Hockey, I'm a forward. Soccer wasn't good enough to really be anything. Football, running back or wide receiver. Volleyball, setter. In bowling, I play bowler. Dogwood, you go catch up with bots on your own time. Brody, which Canuck do I want to take a vacation with? Probably one of a veteran guy who we'd have a lot to talk about. I find actually Connor Garland's personality interesting. So maybe him or maybe Bo. I think Bo and I would get along just fine. Justin, what do you hope to do next? Beat Jacob in ping pong on a live stream that gets you to 10K subs for YouTube or bowl a perfect game? I would love to bowl a perfect game actually, because I can beat Jacob in ping pong, not all the time, but on a live stream that gets me to 10K, beating him, that would be pretty sweet too. But no, a perfect game would be pretty amazing. As much as I'm excited for 10K. Simon, am I going to start up a podcast? Stay tuned. I have some plans for the fall that I'm ironing out. Pat, good question. Any future in a separate channel specific to travel, food, leisure vlogs? I think it would be a hit. Yeah, I don't know if I would be the go-to for something like that. I'm doing a bit more of faith and family on my Instagram, so that was one way for me to differentiate. But I don't think I would have the time and energy to do different type of vlogging. I think my son Jacob would do much better at that kind of thing. DSS, I'm actually going to Hawaii on WestJet. How did Mickey react when you and Jacob went home from Sweden? He was excited. He kept jumping on us. Gail said that he was acting bad the first couple of days we were gone, but maybe she was just trying to make me feel better. Have you started the ping pong yet? Yeah, we played a few times already, but still rusty. Favorite genre of movie? Thriller. Action thriller. Edmund, we've been using the treadmill and it hasn't stopped on us recently. So we still have the same one. Fangirl, I don't think I'll do any vacation vlogs. I think Jacob will do one. He'll have the camera up and then he'll edit something when we get back. But I think during, I don't think I'm the most creative vlogger. Shrimes, if you had a paparazzi show up outside your home tomorrow, what would you do and what would your thoughts be? If the paparazzi were outside my house, I would make sure I have clothes on. And actually, tomorrow would be a cool day to follow me because I'm going to a wedding and then I'm emceeing the wedding reception. So that might be kind of neat. Sashimi over sushi, Clifford. Ooh, Eli, if you're Bruce Boudreau, who's your Kevin Owens? What a great question. An idol? I'd love to meet Denzel Washington. Jason says, Clay, we're running overtime today because so much Canucks hype. What time are we going to today, Clay? I want to wrap up by 11:15, I think. Although, yeah, it's pretty cool. We had our 200 and it dropped off pretty quick recently. Shop at Walmart. Thank you, Shannon. $1 billion spent. Wow, Fal, I did not know that. Pat Clay, Jim Rutherford approached you to be an exclusive news rumor guy in confidentiality. He wants to extort $5,000 a month from you. Deal or no deal? No deal. Yes, I did. Carl, I was watching that UFC when he did the Undertaker entrance for sure. Simon, thanks for asking. This was probably my worst sports showing ever. I played softball and hockey in the same day, and I was not good at either. For a family trip, Seattle, believe it or not, and I'm not just saying this because you're there, we want to go to Eastern Canada. I realized that for Sean, this was his first time east of Alberta, and Gail and Kayla have never been east of Alberta. So I think next summer, I wouldn't mind taking them to Toronto and or Montreal. Yeah, I know it's not the most glamorous, but I want them to experience it. Ping pong live stream, yeah, Coach Rob, that goes without saying. Of all three kids, who plays with Mickey the most? Probably Jacob. He likes to be in Jacob's room the most. Jason, when can I get invited out for some ping pong? Is Jacob to watch out for? Yeah, he's the best of the three of us, but Jason, you could probably take him. Good night, DSS. Would you join the hockey guy for street hockey meetup? Absolutely. I'd love to do that. I know he's already started them, right? Brian, do I watch shark shows? No, I don't. Thank you, Lucas. Do you have a favorite Fresh Prince of Bel-Air character? What was the sister's name? Ashley in the show? Yeah, and Carlton was pretty funny. Carl, if I was ever in Boston, Chicago, would I wear my Canucks jersey out? It depends. Probably not, actually. But yeah, I shouldn't be so afraid. Maybe I'd wear a t-shirt as opposed to a warm jersey. Maybe that's semantics. Yeah, maybe I'd wear, because I'm confident enough that I can have conversations without getting beat up. Favorite activity to do growing up? Play outside. Hockey, basketball with my brother and my dad. Pat Clay, you're a UFC fighter. What is your entrance theme music? Bust a Move by Young MC. I don't know what that was. Jasker says, Clay, you're going to get jumped. Okay, maybe not. Good night, Pat. Justin, if you could pick any celebrity or personal connection to the next NHL commissioner to replace. Any celebrity or personal connection. Let's go with someone like Ryan Reynolds. Just because he's from here and he's got a good personality. Do the Carlton dance. No, I can't do it, and B, I'm so sore right now from Monday night. You'd have to pick me up off the floor. Was it the last stream where I spilled my juice, by the way? Given the full East Coast experience. Brian Wood wears Canucks jersey, Boston. I can be a tour guide. You got it, Seattle. Lucas Clay, we're working on easy access to YouTube vids, so it'll be one click and you're in. Okay, cool. Jasker and Clay, you can trust me as your bodyguard. As a 16-year-old at 5'9", I can take. Okay, I trust you. Yes, 16 years old, and also I want Karan, my South Delta bodyguard as well. That was in the last stream. What do you think the Canucks are going to do tomorrow or Friday? We'll see, CV. We'll see. Maybe start to lay the foundation for a trade for a defenseman. Okay, it's 11:06. I'm gone 20 minutes over, but we had a lot of people in here, which is pretty cool. Let's get to Gordle, Wordle, and Ordle. So I will set it up now. Actually, I'll have all three ready. So give me 2 seconds. This is where we do the usual reminders. Not to screw up. Not to cheat, basically. If you already played today, that's cool. But you don't have to tell me you've already played. Like, that doesn't matter. I just don't want you to spoil it for anyone else. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, let's get to... Let me move myself out of the way here. And let's get to these games. Okay. Who does this look like to you? Yes, and as Justin says, the guessing games are coming up. If you played or know the answer, please lift your hands away from the keyboard. That's awesome. That is awesome. Oh, did I just lose my mouse? Where'd it go? Who should we guess? I like the Oshie guess. Let's go with Oshie. Okay, so we got Eastern Conference, we got the Metro Division, and we got that he's an American. Not bad, actually. Okay. Actually, that's pretty good that we got the right division already. So I need an American player from the Metro who's younger than 35, who's not a right winger. Oh yeah, Trocheck's in the Metro now, right? Because he's with the Rangers. Oh, okay, very good. So now we need to find a center who is younger than 29 years old, who's American, that plays in the Metro. I need a center who plays in the Metro. That's the three New York teams: Philly, Pittsburgh, Columbus, Carolina. No, I always get them mixed up. Yeah, Columbus, Carolina, and Detroit, I guess. Is it Detroit? Isn't Owen Power a defenseman? Jack Hughes. Ah, a cent. Oh. Oh. Okay, this is really interesting. That was actually a really good guess, Jaskrin, because yes, he was a center. Yes. Well, look at this one. Here's our biggest guess. Someone younger than 21 years old. Someone, yes, Erwin, good call. Someone younger than 21. Who is younger than 21 in the Metro Division? No, it can't be Laffy because he's not a Ranger. Yeah, Simon, we're going to have to talk another time because I'm into these games now. So no more questions. Only games. No, Sveshnikov isn't from the U.S. Hey guys, we got to think here. Who's a center, an American center younger than 21? So he got drafted in the last 2 years. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. Who does Savoie play for? Did I spell it wrong? Savoie's Canadian. Good. I can't even spell it. This is tricky, guys. Sillinger. Yeah, I can already tell. Very good. Very good, legendary, just incredible. Cole Sillinger, Columbus Blue Jackets, only 19 years old, from the States. Very good, Justin. Nicely done. Nicely done. Let's go to Gordel. 6 letters. Great job, Justin. You are a legend indeed. 6 letters. Who should we try? Oh, Hughes, bad guess. Not your fault. Let's go. Actually, Maroon has none of those letters. Maroon, good guess. Maroon is a great guess. Actually, Peter, it's funny. You said Malkin. And it can work because we haven't used any of those letters. We have our M-A. We haven't used an L. Nicely. Wow. We just don't waste any time. So Peter said Malkin. Then Vadar said Malkin. Just said, wow. Very good, you guys. What's our stats? We always get it in 3. Isn't that crazy? Nicely done. You guys are experts. Last one. Wordle. I feel good. I feel like we're going to get this pretty quick. Do you guys still... I never played this anymore. Do you guys still go with the like adieu or arise or anything? Jastrin says heard. I like stand. Although stand only has one... Yeah, I do like a word with at least 2 vowels. Let's try bread. Oh, what an excellent guess, Jasper. So it starts with a B, it ends with a D, and there's an A in there. So B. I'm feeling the A is second. Baked? No. Oh, bland is good. Bland is excellent. And Trevor and Justin said it. Oh my gosh. We're so smart. Look at us. That's only the second time we've gotten 2. And remember, this first one we think was rigged. Thaddeus, that guy. Nice job, you guys. We're just too smart here. Okay, everyone. Thanks for sticking with me. It is 11:15. We are about 15 minutes over. But I really appreciate everyone that was here. Yeah, we are very smart in this crew. We just nail those games now. So I want to thank everyone that was here. Moderators, thank you. I know you had to do a bit of work today. Sponsors, Perform Transform, Van City Experts, Gassy Jack Art, and Monkey Nine Brewing, thank you. Thank you to everyone who donated today. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for new subscribers. Let's see if we moved the needle at all during the stream. Yeah, wow. We are at 9152 now. That is awesome. So we are over. We got to 9150 in half a month, which is pretty exciting. So we are at 9152. So that's pretty cool. So thanks to everyone who subscribed during this stream. And Vidar, my next stream is going to be on Sunday. Gonna take a bit of a break. I'll be at a wedding tomorrow, and I gotta focus on a couple other things. Some other speaking engagements. So my next stream will be on Sunday night. So you get a bit of a break from me. And then my members only stream will be next Wednesday. So Wednesday the 20th will be a members only, but so it'll be everyone this Sunday, whatever the Sunday is, the 17th, I guess. And Lucas, not sure if you're still here. Thank you for setting up the Discord, even though I have no clue what it is, but I know you'll take good care of it. Okay, friends, as always, subscribe if you'd like to. No, subscribe on your way out. Like this video on your way out for sure. It felt like I just shrunk for a bit there. Yeah, subscribe on your way out. Like this video. Thank you for the donations once again. You can always leave donations here or as tips, as super thanks on my regular videos. Appreciate that. And if you're a member already, thank you. If you want to consider joining or upgrading, that is awesome as well. So, yeah, we'll see what the Canucks do. Big day for them today. We'll see if they make any news tomorrow. And if they do, I'll try my best to excuse myself from whatever I'm doing at a wedding and record something if I need to. Okay? So once again, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Now, I think you guys know that I'm very afraid of spiders. So we tried something different. Last night, I saw a spider, and Gail said instead of killing the spider, she told me to take the spider out. So we went out, had a few drinks, and he's a really nice guy. He's actually a web designer. God bless. By the way, what's this? A spider doing push-ups on a mirror. God bless, and go Canucks go. Booyah.